So recently we have been searching for a new dental assistant for our clinic. And anytime someone new is coming on board, I tend to start thinking, we need the right fit. We can always train someone. You really can't make someone fit in. They either tend to be a good fit or they're not. That comes down to us, conveying to them what is our culture, what is it we do here, and what do we believe, and then starting to see how they react to that will help us decide and them decide if we're a good fit for each other. And that is what I think is a great topic today. We're going to talk about, team culture. I'm going to share with you some of my experiences, what I think has helped me develop the culture that we have here, and really help myself even reflect on what it is I'm doing that is either working or not working and why. So here we go. I began this dental clinic, Peggy, Bown Dentistry, about 4 years ago now, in 2015. I was really excited because I was going to get to build something, create something, establish a team, and work in an environment that I had maybe more control over. I don't want to sound like I'm a control freak, but maybe I am sometimes. I wanted to really create something that was in alignment with my my vision, and that is creating the ultimate patient experience and doing something in a way that impacts people and inspires them to take action and helps make them healthier and feel more confident. I would define my culture as based on around sort of 4 pillars, and if I could kind of describe it that way. The first one being teamwork. I mean, it is really ultimately extremely important, because if without it, of course, we can't do a lot in a very productive kind of way. And our team is very close, they're very open, we have lots of meetings and things like that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but I really never refer to my team as staff or my people or whatever words people use. They're always my team or our team, and I think it's really, people have actually picked up on that. They're sort of surprised because, again, not everybody does that, but it's really important that they feel valued and I respect them, and again, we're all working together towards a common goal. The number 2 thing that kind of describes or kind of defines our culture is technology. And when I opened this clinic in 2015, I, without a blink of an eye as to thinking about, okay, can I afford that? You know what? We can afford it, because it is where dentistry is going, and it's something that without it we can't get to this next level. And I wanted to think about the long game. I wanted to think about a very modern clinic that was timeless of sorts. So to have as much technology and then having a team trained in that technology and empowered to be able to use that to educate our patients, I thought was going to be also a big part of it. So when new team members come on board, we're really focused on how willing they are to take on and embrace new technology, and be open to learning new things in that way. Thirdly, I guess I would say education is a really big one as well, and I do support my team in many educational initiatives, both within the clinic. We have many speakers come into the clinic. We've even hosted local events on education. The last one I would say would be innovation, and to be innovative, I mean, I think of the leading companies in the world to be very innovative, and that sort of goes in with what the other things I talked about, but just wanting to always bring the newest, the best, and really keeping my eyes open and not being afraid to jump in and learn these new techniques and just try new things. Make sure that we're doing things in a proper clinical way, but to really try to not overthink it and really go for it and make sure we're bringing our patients the very best. I guess that's how I would describe our culture. And when I have a new employee come in, I would sort of see how they react to those types of things and how they feel about it, because not everybody is in alignment with that. The way I was able to create this culture was by a number of factors. Again, the first one, of course, having team members that I have been with for many years really helped, and enjoying and receiving and being open to what they suggested and things like that, but also having them help me in the hiring process and sort of building on the team. When we first opened, we just had one other person besides the three of us, and she was new and she had worked in a dental clinic before, but really for her to kind of come into that and learn how we were thinking was really good, because we were pretty much all in alignment. A couple other things that I did. One was I was voraciously reading, and again, I would say reading loosely. I actually did not have time to read a book, because if I put myself in front of a book, I may fall asleep. I was so exhausted. Having any moments that I had free, driving, walking, whatever, I was using books on leadership and using the tips and tools in those books to both motivate me, to inspire me, and to help me become a better leader. And through that, I'd be like, I'd stop and it's like, oh, great, that's a great idea. And not only is it a great idea to remember, but I would write it down and I would say, you know what? I'm going to tell my team that. I would say three of my favorite books would be, the first one would be by John Maxwell, and that's the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Amazing. Have to listen to it, of course, many times, making sure it's all sinking in, but he really, really goes over a wonderful, lots of examples in there. It's a great book. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. That really made me think, and that's part of how I was able to define what my vision, my mission, and really just personally think about why I get out of bed in the morning. And companies that do start with why seem to be do very well. So that book is amazing. I definitely encourage you to check it out. Another one would be by another kind of inspiration of mine, which is, his name is Robin Sharma. And he's actually written recently a new book that I haven't read called the 5 a.m. Club. But this book was The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, and that really kind of made me think too, and think about kind of what's important in life, and just where we should think about on a bigger scale. So there's others as well. The Power of Consistency. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of them, but they're really good. When you look up leadership in Audible and audiobooks, and you look for books that are like kind of focused on that, self-awareness, leadership, all really good. Listen to them anytime you have an opportunity. That has really made a big difference for me. Now, I would have to say that creating it, that's kind of the easy part. It's maintaining it, and where do you get where do I get the will to do that? I mean, every single day there's maintenance in that whole culture, and there's going to be things, and there are things that come up on a daily basis. First of all, I would have to say one of the things is really open communication on a routine basis. So when I come in the morning, we have a team meeting. So our team will get ready for the day, and everybody comes into the kitchen, or we call it the team training room actually. And there's a large screen on the wall, and we go through our day. We call the morning huddle. We go through our current day. We talk about some things we need to be aware of. Do we like the way it's scheduled? Is there anything we can make better? Then we look at tomorrow, definitely can head things off at the past there. And then we look at yesterday. Do people need to be called? Is there anything we could learn from yesterday's patients or the way we run it? Is there some things we can celebrate? And so really openly discussing that, because it's fresh in our minds, is a routine thing that I do. Another thing, of course, that I do is I set up regular meetings with my hygiene team, and we get together with just myself, my associate, and our hygienist, and we openly discuss some things that are going well, maybe some things we can improve. I have team meetings with my patient care coordinator and my main dental assistant, and then I have meetings with the receptionist. But the big one is the monthly meeting, and that's where we all get together. I start those meetings with kind of some inspirational quotes. That's sort of my signature. I love quotes, and I might review the mission statement or the vision statement and kind of just say, we're doing really well, a pat on the back, give thank yous as much as I can, gratitude for what we have and how far we've come, since last year. And then we go through sort of step by step, reminding ourselves, what are our goals, our short-term goals, our long-term goals, how our day's running. And then we get into news, like maybe there's something that I learned or someone learned in a course, or maybe there's something I heard about that I want to bring into the clinic. It's a great opportunity to introduce those things with enthusiasm and an environment where it's appropriate to bring those things up. So the team meetings being very regular and allowing input and being structured, I think that has helped me. This is my opportunity to reconnect with my team and really rejuvenate us all. And we do that every month. Team building is another thing that I do to maintain it, or we do to maintain it, is thinking of ways where we can, what can we do together that would be really fun? I think a lot of offices or clinics maybe do things like that. I think that's becoming more accepted in the workplace. We're really excited coming up. We're doing, we're going out on the river and we're gonna, get some boats and we're gonna do maybe have a little barbecue and just have fun. But we do different things where we have to work together as a team. Sometimes it's a strategic thing. Sometimes it's just a walk in nature. So it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it really is important to just get outside the office and do things together that is not totally related to work. Despite all of this, I have to say it's interesting because in the 4 years that I've been here with this team and in this clinic, of course, team members have come and gone. There's been some changes, of course, but it's really evolved and it's really helped me grow as a person, as a leader, or it's a boss. I don't know if I like to say that word, boss, but as someone who has to lead a group of people yet do the work, it's really evolved over time. So there's things that I've found work and some really surprising things that this is really not working. I started doing what's called digital smile design. Digital smile design, I began doing this in 2015, and it really transformed how I did a lot of cosmetic dentistry, how I motivated patients, how I got my whole team excited about treatment. And it was something that I had a full hands-on, with. However, some parts of it, meant it's just a clinical part where you just need to put something in the patient's mouth and then they get to see it, and you have to record these events to show the patient, what they look like with their future smile. Well, I started to delegate that more and more to my team member, specifically one team member who then I deemed as my, digital smile design assistant. And she really took that on and she was doing a great job. Like, do not get me wrong. However, what I noticed was that I was losing a little bit of that connection with the patient. So I was, not giving the patient, or not really even hearing the patient sometimes, or being there for those pivotal moments where I could see it in the patient's eyes. Geez, there's something there they're not getting, and I need to clarify that. My case acceptance is still really good because I was using digital smile design, but what I think is more meaningful is sometimes just that human connection and really connecting with your patients and really being a part of those initial stages as well, not just, the finale, wow, do you like your smile, or going in there and doing the work. It's all in the prep. So then when I announced to my team recently that, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to be part of that. I'm going to do more of that with you, with the patients. There was like this sigh in the room. They're like, oh, good, because we loved it when you did that, Peggy. That worked better. So again, listening to my team and being there and connecting with them and my patients, huge. That's how I've, really evolved, and I think that's what's making things work here really well. We're still learning, but it's something that I know we've really come a long way, and I'm really proud of how this clinic, treats patients and gives the patients that ultimate experience, which is ultimately what my goal is. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. You can also check me out on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Until then, I will see you